The final battle in the Maelstrom Nebula lasted 6 hours. When it ended, 23 alien warships had been destroyed or disabled, and the thunderstorm was barely holding together. Captain Lee sat in his command chair, watching damage reports scroll across his screens. They had won, but at a terrible cost. "Captain, we have lost main engines, half our weapon systems, and most of our armor plating," Chief Engineer Yoon Min-ho reported. "But we are alive, and the ship can still fly." Dr. Bae Sunmi looked up from her communication station with excitement in her eyes. "Sir, our transmission about the extinct species has reached Earth, but that is not the important news. The information is spreading across the entire galaxy. Every species, every colony, every space station is talking about it." Lieutenant Kim Tae-ho was monitoring alien communication channels. "Captain, the reaction is incredible. Younger species are demanding answers from the Galactic Council. Several civilizations are threatening to leave the Council completely. There are protests on every major world. The truth about the Cortani, Zell, and Voss had hit the galaxy like a bomb. For 1,000 years, the older species had maintained power by secretly eliminating any civilization that became too advanced or too dangerous. Now everyone knew about their crimes. What about the surviving alien ships?" Lee asked. Commander Park Sora checked her tactical display. "The remaining vessels are retreating from the nebula." Captain Song sent a message before he left. "He said this battle was not over, but he acknowledged our victory here." Lee nodded. The immediate threat was gone, but the larger conflict was just beginning. The thunderstorm began its long journey back to human space, moving slowly through the nebula's dangerous storms. Meanwhile, on Earth, the reaction to the battle news was explosive. President Na Eun-jung called an emergency session of the Human Colonial Congress. Admiral Kang Do-hyun stood before the assembled representatives with a smile on his face. "The thunderstorm has survived," he announced. "Captain Lee and his crew have proven that humans can fight and win against impossible odds. But more importantly, they have exposed the truth about how the galaxy really works." The Congress erupted in cheers and angry shouts. For decades, human politicians had wondered why their species was treated as inferior, despite their obvious capabilities. Now they knew the answer. The older species were afraid of human potential. "What is our response?" asked the representative from New Seoul Colony. President Na stood up. "We are implementing the human doctrine, effective immediately. Any species that threatens to eliminate humanity will face the full industrial might of human civilization. We are done being the galaxy's junior partner." The human doctrine was not just words. Across human space, shipyards that had been building cargo vessels and passenger transports began retooling for military production. The thunderstorm had been a prototype, but human engineers had learned from its design. The new Storm-class battleships would be cheaper, faster to build, and more powerful than their predecessor. More importantly, they would be mass-produced on a scale that no other species could match. "We are not trying to conquer the galaxy," Admiral Kang explained to his senior staff. "We are making it impossible for the galaxy to conquer us. When other species see 100 human warships instead of one, they will think twice about threatening our people." The galactic reaction to the human doctrine was swift and panicked. The Thrakari delegate called another emergency council session, demanding that humanity be stopped before they could build their new fleet. "This is exactly what we feared," he said. "The humans have revealed our methods of maintaining peace and stability. Now they are using that knowledge to justify a massive military buildup." But the political situation had changed completely. The younger species in the galaxy no longer trusted the Council. 3 civilizations announced they were withdrawing from all Council treaties. 5 more demanded the formation of a new governing body with equal representation for all species. Ambassador Choi. Hi-Rim returned to Nexus Prime with new instructions from Earth. She was no longer asking for permission or apologizing for human actions. She was dictating terms. "Humanity offers the following proposal," she announced to the Fractured Council. "We will share our industrial techniques and defensive technologies with any species that wants them. In return, the age of secret wars and controlled extinction ends forever." The Aqualian delegate was confused. "You would give away your military advantages?" "We would share the ability to defend yourself," Choi replied. The thunderstorm was powerful because it represented human industrial capacity. But we are not the only species that can build things quickly and efficiently. You just never had to learn how. This was the genius of the human doctrine. Instead of trying to dominate the galaxy through superior firepower, humanity was offering to level the playing field. Any species that wanted to survive would need to adopt human-style mass production and defensive strategies. The older species found themselves facing a choice: adapt to the new reality or become irrelevant. Their carefully maintained technological advantages meant nothing if everyone could build weapons as effectively as humans. 3 months after the Battle of Maelstrom Nebula, the thunderstorm finally reached Earth orbit. The ship was scarred and damaged, but it flew under its own power. Captain Lee and his crew were welcomed as heroes of the human species, but their real reward came in the form of new orders. The thunderstorm would be repaired and upgraded, then sent on a new mission beyond the galaxy's borders. Earth Command had decided to search for other civilizations that might have been targeted for extinction by the Council. "We are not the only ones," Dr. Bay explained during the mission briefing. "The historical records suggest there might be surviving populations of the supposedly extinct species in unexplored regions. If we can find them and bring them back, it would completely change the balance of power." Captain Lee accepted the mission gladly. The galaxy had tried to eliminate humanity because they were different and dangerous. Now humanity would use those same qualities to find and protect others who had faced similar threats. The new galactic order was still taking shape. Some species embraced the changes, building their own mass production facilities and defensive fleets. Others tried to maintain the old system through political maneuvering and secret agreements. But the most important change was in how young civilizations viewed their place in the galaxy. They were no longer content to be junior partners in someone else's empire. They wanted equality, security, and the right to develop their own technologies without fear of elimination. Ambassador Choi received a message from the Zenith Coalition that surprised everyone. The peaceful species had built their first military shipyard in over 300 years. Their representative explained the decision simply: "We have learned that peace without strength is just an invitation to extinction. The humans showed us that survival requires the willingness to fight for what you believe in." As the thunderstorm prepared for its new mission, Captain Lee stood on the observation deck and looked out at Earth. The planet looked the same as always, but everything had changed. Humanity was no longer alone in the galaxy, and they were no longer weak. The most overpowered human warship had been banned by the galaxy, but in trying to destroy it, the galaxy had only proven why humanity deserved respect. The age of secret extinctions was over. The age of human leadership in galactic affairs had begun. Lieutenant Kim approached with a final communication from Earth Command. "Sir, Admiral Kang wants to know if you have any regrets about disobeying orders and starting this whole crisis." Lee looked at the message for a moment, then smiled. "Tell the Admiral that the only thing I regret is not starting this fight sooner. Humanity spent too many years being afraid of what other species might do to us. Now they get to be afraid of what we might do to them." The thunderstorm left Earth orbit the next day, heading for the unknown regions beyond the galactic rim. Behind them, human shipyards worked around the clock to build the fleet that would protect human colonies for generations to come. The galaxy had tried to ban humanity's most powerful warship. Instead, they had created something far more dangerous: a human civilization that was no longer willing to accept second-class status in the universe. The stars themselves would never be the same. The thunderstorm never arrived at Haven's rest station. Instead, Captain Lee took his ship into the empty regions beyond mapped space, where no alien patrols would find them. For 3 days, they hid in the shadow of a dead planet while Chief Engineer Yoon completed his weapon upgrades. "Modifications complete, Captain," Yoon reported. "The storm cannons are now 30% more powerful and can fire continuously for longer periods. I also installed some new systems using parts we borrowed from that Valiant destroyer." Lee nodded. During their escape from Haven's Rest, they had stopped at the wreckage of the ships they destroyed in their first battle. Alien technology could be very useful when properly adapted. "What is our status with Earth Command?" he asked Lieutenant Kim Tae-ho. "Officially, we are missing in action," Kim replied. "Unofficially, Admiral Kang has been sending coded messages of support. But we are on our own out here, sir." Dr. Bae Sunmi looked up from her sensor station. "Captain, I am reading massive fleet movements throughout the galaxy. Every major species has committed warships to hunting us. The bounty on our ship is now worth more than some planets. The hunt had indeed begun." Within hours of the thunderstorm failing to appear at Haven's Rest, the Galactic Council declared the ship and crew to be pirates and criminals. 6 species combined their fleets in the largest military operation in galactic history. The Valian fleet was commanded by Captain Song Hai-jin, a veteran warrior seeking revenge for his destroyed ships. His 12 destroyers searched the outer rim sectors, expecting the humans to hide in empty space. The Thrakari contributed their fastest pursuit squadrons, believing that superior speed would let them catch the human ship. Their crystal-hulled vessels could travel faster than almost anything in the galaxy. The Aqualians sent their best tracking ships, equipped with sensors that could detect a single vessel across multiple star systems. They were confident that no ship could hide from their technology, but the thunderstorm was not hiding. Instead, Captain Lee had decided to go on the offensive. New orders from Earth Command, Kim announced, reading a coded message. All human merchant ships in contested sectors are to return to protected space immediately. We have lost contact with 3 trading convoys in the past week. The aliens are taking hostages, Commander Park Sora said angrily. They cannot catch us, so they are attacking innocent humans instead. Lee studied the tactical display showing known alien fleet positions. The enemy ships were spread across dozens of star systems, searching everywhere for the thunderstorm. This gave him an idea. Dr. Bay, I need detailed information on enemy supply lines, he said. Show me where they get fuel, ammunition, and spare parts. The main screen changed to show trade routes and supply depots across 3 sectors. The alien fleets needed enormous amounts of resources to maintain their search operations. Here, Lee said, pointing to a mining station in the Kepler system. This facility provides fuel for half the Thrakari fleet. If it was destroyed, their ships would be stranded. Sir, that is a civilian target, Park replied. There might be innocent people working there. Then we make sure they evacuate first, Lee said. Set course for the Kepler system. It is time to show the galaxy that the hunt works both ways. The attack on the Kepler mining station became the first of many. The thunderstorm appeared without warning, gave the workers 10 minutes to evacuate, then destroyed the facility with storm cannon fire. By the time alien patrol ships arrived, the human vessel was gone. 3 days later, they hit an ammunition depot supplying the Valian fleet. A week after that, they destroyed a communication relay that coordinated alien search operations. Each attack followed the same pattern. Appear suddenly, destroy the target, disappear before reinforcements could arrive. Captain Song of the Valian fleet was becoming increasingly frustrated. This is not how space battles are supposed to work, he told his officers. They do not fight with honor. They strike like cowards and run away. Perhaps that is why they are winning, his tactical officer replied. Sir, we have lost 6 supply bases in 2 weeks. Our ships are running low on fuel and ammunition. The crew's getting nervous. Song studied the reports from other fleet commanders. The Thrakari had similar problems. The Aqualian tracking ships could not find the thunderstorm because it never stayed in one place long enough to be detected. Meanwhile, on the human ship, the crew was adapting to their new role as outlaws. Lieutenant Im Ji-won had become an expert at plotting escape routes through dangerous space. Sergeant Ro Kyung-soo trained his Marines for boarding actions against alien ships. We are becoming something new, Dr. Bay observed during a planning meeting. Not just a warship, but a predator. The aliens built their fleets to fight other fleets in organized battles. They never planned for this kind of warfare. The psychological impact of the Thunderstorms campaign spread across the galaxy. Merchant ships refused to travel without heavy escorts. Several species recalled their outer patrol fleets to protect core worlds. Trade routes that had operated safely for centuries were abandoned. They are afraid, Yoon reported after analyzing intercepted communications. The alien crews do not understand what we are doing. Some of them think we are crazy. Others believe we have weapons they have never seen before. Do we? Lee asked. In a way, yes. We have human thinking. Every other species in the galaxy fights the same way. Organized formations, careful tactics, minimal casualties. They treat war like a business transaction. And humans? Humans fight to win, Park replied. We do not care about being fair or honorable. We care about going home alive. This difference in philosophy became clear during the Battle of the Nexus convoy. 24 Aqualian freighters were traveling with 8 escort warships when the thunderstorm appeared. Instead of attacking the escorts first, as alien doctrine required, the human ship ignored the warships completely and destroyed the cargo vessels. The Aqualian escorts were left helpless. Their weapons were designed for ship-to-ship combat, but the thunderstorm used the exploding freighters as cover, making it impossible to get a clear shot. By the time the escorts realized what was happening, half their convoy was gone, and the human ship was escaping into an asteroid field. "This is intolerable," the Aqualian fleet commander reported to the Galactic Council. "The human ship does not follow any recognized rules of warfare. How can we fight an enemy that refuses to fight properly?" The answer came from an unexpected source. The Zenith Coalition, normally the most peaceful species in the galaxy, offered a solution. "We must change our approach," their representative said during an emergency council session. "The human ship is not fighting a war. It is hunting. And the only way to stop a predator is to become better hunters ourselves." This led to the formation of the Combined Fleet, a joint force with ships from all 6 species under unified command. Instead of searching randomly, they would use the humans' own tactics against them. Captain Song was chosen to command the Combined Fleet. His first order was to study every human attack, looking for patterns that would reveal the thunderstorm's next target. "They are not attacking randomly," he told his staff. "There is a strategy here. They hit supply bases that serve multiple fleets. They destroy communication relays at junction points. They are trying to isolate our ships and force us to spread out even more." "What is their next target?" his intelligence officer asked. Song looked at the tactical display for a long time. Finally, he pointed to a star system near the galactic core, the Maelstrom Nebula. "It is the only place in this region where a ship can hide from sensors. If I were commanding that human vessel, I would use it as a base for operations." "Sir, the Maelstrom is extremely dangerous. The electromagnetic storms make communication impossible. Ships that enter often never come out." "Exactly," Song replied, "which makes it the perfect place for a desperate human captain to make his final stand. Prepare the fleet. We are going hunting." On the thunderstorm, Captain Lee was indeed planning to use the Maelstrom Nebula, but not as a hiding place. Dr. Bay had discovered something interesting about the nebula's properties. "The electromagnetic storms will disable most sensor systems," she reported, "but they will also interfere with energy shields. In there, our thick armor will give us a huge advantage over ships that depend on energy protection." Lee smiled. The aliens thought they were finally cornering their prey. Instead, they were walking into the most dangerous trap of all, a fair fight with humans who had nothing left to lose. The Maelstrom Nebula was a graveyard of stars. Ancient stellar explosions had created a region of space filled with electromagnetic storms, radiation clouds, and gravitational anomalies. Ships that entered the nebula often lost all communication with the outside galaxy. Many never returned. Captain Lee stood on the bridge of the thunderstorm as they flew deeper into the storms. Lightning-like energy discharges lit up the space around them in brilliant colors. The ship's hull groaned under the stress of conflicting gravity fields. "Sensors are down to minimum range," Dr. Bay Sunmi reported. "I can barely see 1,000 kilometers in any direction. But that means the alien ships will have the same problem." "How many enemy vessels are following us?" Lee asked. 37 confirmed, sir," Lieutenant M.G. Wan replied from the navigation station. "The combined fleet under Captain Song has been tracking us for 3 days. They finally cornered us here." Chief Engineer Yoon Min-ho checked his instruments. "Captain, the electromagnetic storms are interfering with energy shields throughout the nebula. Our armor will protect us, but the alien ships will be vulnerable." This was what Lee had hoped for. The thunderstorm's thick metal armor would work normally inside the nebula, but the aliens' advanced energy shields would fail. For the first time, the technological advantage would belong to humans. "All stations prepare for battle," he announced. "This is what we trained for." 5 hours earlier, Dr. Bay had made a discovery that changed everything. While analyzing data captured from alien computer systems, she found historical records that the Galactic Council had tried to hide. "Captain, you need to see this," she had said, her voice shaking with excitement and fear. The record showed that humanity was not the first species to develop unacceptable military technology. Over the past 1,000 years, 3 other civilizations had built weapons that threatened the established galactic order. The Cortani had developed self-replicating war machines that could build entire fleets without organic crew members. The Gel had created biological weapons that could adapt to any defense. The Voss had built ships with faster-than-light ramming capability that could destroy planets from across star systems. All three species had faced the same ultimatum that humanity now confronted. Give up your advanced weapons or face destruction by a coalition of older civilizations. All three had refused. All three had been completely eliminated from the galaxy. They do not just want our ship, Bay had explained. This is how the Galactic Council maintains power. Whenever a younger species becomes too dangerous, they unite to destroy it completely. Then they rewrite the history books to make it look like a natural extinction. How many people know about this? Lee had asked. Based on the security levels in these files, maybe a dozen individuals in the entire galaxy. This information could start a revolution if it became public. Now, as the Thunderstorm prepared for battle in the Maelstrom Nebula, Lee knew they were fighting for more than just their ship. They were fighting for humanity's right to exist. The first alien vessels appeared on the edge of sensor range. Captain Song had divided his fleet into 3 groups, approaching from different directions to prevent the human ship from escaping. It was a good plan, but it assumed the Thunderstorm would try to run. Enemy ships detected, Commander Park Sora announced. 12 Thrakari cruisers approaching from starboard, 8 Valen destroyers coming from below. The rest of the fleet is spreading out to surround us. Target the closest group, Lee ordered. Full power to storm cannons. The battle began with the Thunderstorm charging directly at the Thrakari cruisers. The alien ships tried to activate their energy shields, but the electromagnetic storms disrupted the projection systems. Instead of smooth energy barriers, they got flickering, unstable fields that provided little protection. The storm cannons opened fire at maximum range. Hundreds of plasma bolts crossed space like deadly rain. The Thrakari ships tried to dodge, but their maneuvers were limited by the nebula's gravitational anomalies. 3 cruisers exploded in the first 30 seconds. Their shields are failing, Park reported. The nebula environment is disrupting all their defensive systems. But the aliens quickly adapted. Captain Song ordered his ships to use the nebula's conditions to their advantage. Felian destroyers hid behind radiation clouds, appearing suddenly to fire single powerful shots before disappearing again. Aqualian vessels used their natural ability to navigate in difficult conditions to attack from unexpected angles. The Thunderstorm found itself surrounded by enemies that appeared and vanished like ghosts. Energy bolts came from all directions. The ship's armor held, but damage was accumulating. Hull breach on Deck 7, Yoon reported. We are losing atmosphere in the port cargo bay. Marines to the damaged sections, Lee ordered. Seal those breaches. Sergeant Ro Kyung-soo led damage control teams through the ship's corridors while the battle raged outside. His people worked quickly to repair holes in the hull and reroute damaged systems. But the real surprise came when alien boarding pods attached to the Thunderstorm's outer hull. Sir, we have boarders, Ro announced over the communication system. Thrakari assault troops are cutting through the airlock on Deck 12. This was something no human had ever faced before. Alien soldiers fighting inside a human ship. But Ro and his Marines had trained for this possibility. They knew their own ship better than any invader could. The battle inside the Thunderstorm became a deadly game of hide and seek. Thrakari soldiers with advanced energy weapons hunted through the corridors, looking for critical systems to destroy. But human Marines used maintenance tunnels and service passages to attack from behind. These passages are too small for them, Ro reported to the bridge. The Thrakari are taller than humans. They cannot follow us through the maintenance areas. Use that advantage, Lee replied. Hit them and disappear. Make them afraid of every shadow. Outside the ship, the space battle continued. The Thunderstorm had destroyed 12 enemy vessels, but 25 were still attacking. Worse, the combined alien fleet was starting to coordinate their attacks better. Captain, they are learning our tactics, Park warned. The Valians are using the radiation clouds to mask their approach just like we do with asteroid fields. Then we teach them something new, Lee said. Set course directly for that energy storm ahead. Maximum speed. Sir, that storm will overload our systems, Im replied. We could lose power completely. The alien ships will have the same problem, but their systems are more delicate than ours. We can survive conditions that will destroy them. The Thunderstorm flew directly into a massive electromagnetic storm. Lightning-like energy discharges struck the ship's hull repeatedly. The lights flickered and several systems failed, but the thick armor protected the vital areas. Behind them, 3 Aqualian pursuit ships tried to follow. Their sleek hulls were not designed for such punishment. The first ship lost power and drifted helplessly. The second exploded when a lightning bolt overloaded its reactor. The third turned back rather than risk destruction. Enemy fleet is falling back, Park reported. They cannot match our ability to operate in extreme conditions. But the victory was temporary. As the thunderstorm emerged from the energy storm, they found the remaining alien ships waiting in a perfect formation. Captain Song had used the time to regroup his forces and plan a final assault. All ships concentrate fire on the human vessel, Song ordered. Do not let it escape again. 21 alien warships opened fire at the same time. The thunderstorm was caught in a crossfire that lit up the nebula like a new star. Energy bolts hammered the ship's armor from every direction. Shields failing, Yoon reported. Armor holding, but barely. We cannot take much more of this. Lee looked around the bridge. His crew was tired, wounded, but still fighting. They had come so far, learned so much about the galaxy's hidden history. They could not give up now. Dr. Bay, transmit everything we learned about the extinct species to Earth Command, he ordered. Make sure the information gets to every human colony, every news service, every person who needs to know the truth. Transmission sent, sir, Bay replied. The galaxy will know what really happened to the Cortani, the Gel, and the Voss. Good, Lee said. Now let us make sure they remember what happened to the humans who refused to surrender. The final phase of the battle was about to begin. 1 human ship against 21 alien vessels, fighting in the most dangerous region of space, with the truth about galactic history finally revealed to the universe. Whether the thunderstorm survived or not, the galaxy would never be the same. Admiral Kang Do-hyun stood in the war room deep inside Earth Command headquarters. The room was full of computer screens showing ship positions, trade routes, and communication channels from across human space. Everything looked normal, but Kang knew that was about to change. President Na Eun-jung entered the room with her security team. She looked tired and worried. The past 3 days had been the hardest of her presidency. Admiral, what is our situation? She asked. Kang pointed to the main display screen. Madam President, we have confirmed reports of alien battle fleets moving toward the Haven's Rest Station. 6 different species have contributed warships. The Thrakari sent their best attack squadrons. The Valens want revenge. Even the peaceful Zenith Coalition has ships on the way. How many ships are we talking about? President Na asked. At least 40 warships, possibly more. They are calling it a decommissioning fleet, but our intelligence says they plan to study the thunderstorm first, then destroy it completely. President Na sat down heavily in a chair. The choice facing humanity was impossible. If they gave up the thunderstorm, they would lose their only real defense against alien attacks. If they refused, the galaxy would cut off all trade with human worlds. What do our economic advisors say about the trade embargo? She asked. It would be a disaster, Kang replied. 70% of our advanced technology comes from alien sources. Our outer colonies depend on imported food and medical supplies. We could survive for maybe 2 years before people start dying. And militarily, if we fight? Kang brought up another display showing human fleet strength. We have 300 ships in the human space navy. Most of them are old designs built for exploration and patrol duty. Against the combined fleets of 6 alien species, we would lose quickly. President Na looked at the tactical displays. The thunderstorm was represented by a single green dot, moving slowly toward Haven's Rest. 1 human ship against the entire galaxy. There must be another option, she said. What if we negotiate? Offer to share some of our technology in exchange for keeping the ship? Ambassador Choi tried that approach, Kang said. The aliens are not interested in compromise. They want the thunderstorm destroyed, and they want humanity to promise never to build ships like it again. Far away in space, Captain Lee was facing the same impossible choice. He stood on the bridge of the thunderstorm, reading the latest orders from Earth Command. Report to Haven's Rest for decommissioning. Follow all alien instructions. Do not resist. Captain, said Dr. Bae Sunmi, I have finished analyzing the sensor data from Haven's Rest. What we are seeing is not a decommissioning. It is an ambush. She showed Lee her findings on the main screen. The alien ships were not arranged for a peaceful ceremony. They were positioned for battle, with overlapping fields of fire covering all escape routes. They plan to disable our engines first, Bae explained. Then board the ship and take our technology. After that, they will destroy the thunderstorm and probably kill the crew to eliminate witnesses. Commander Park Sora looked up from her weapon station. Sir, if Dr. Bae is right, we are flying into a trap. We have to do something. Chief Engineer Yoon Min-ho joined the conversation. Captain, I have been working on some modifications to our systems. If we are going to fight, I can make the storm cannons 20% more powerful, but we would need at least 6 hours to complete the work. Lieutenant Kim Tae-ho spoke from communications. Sir, I am intercepting alien military transmissions. They are not trying to hide their intentions anymore. The Valian fleet commander is telling his ships to prepare for combat. The Thrakari are running battle simulations. Lee felt the weight of command on his shoulders. Whatever he decided would affect not just his ship and crew, but the entire human species. If he followed orders and flew into the trap, the aliens would get their hands on storm cannon technology. They might use it to build better weapons, or they might destroy it to keep humans weak. What does Earth Command really want us to do? He asked. Kim looked uncomfortable. Sir, I received an unofficial message from Admiral Kang 30 minutes ago. It was coded, but the meaning was clear. He expects us to use our own judgment, Lee understood. Earth Command could not officially order the Thunderstorm to disobey the Galactic Council. That would be an act of war. But they also could not let the ship be destroyed. So they were leaving the choice to him. Dr. Bay, show me your analysis of the alien fleets, Lee said. The main screen changed to show detailed information about the enemy ships. There were Thrakari attack cruisers with advanced energy weapons, Valen destroyers built for close combat, Aqualian vessels with powerful shields, ships from species that humans had never fought before. 43 enemy ships confirmed, Bay reported. Total firepower approximately 15 times greater than ours. They have advantages in shield speed and numbers. What advantages do we have? Lee asked. Our armor is much thicker than theirs, Yoon replied. Our weapons fire faster and use less energy. And we have something they do not expect. What is that? Human tactics, sir. Every alien species in that fleet fights according to established rules. Honor combat for the Valians, precision strikes for the Thrakari, defensive formations for the Aqualians. They have all studied each other's methods for centuries. Park continued the thought. But no one has studied human combat methods because humans have never fought a real space war. They do not know what we will do because we do not fight like anyone else in the galaxy. Lee walked to the front of the bridge and looked out at the stars. In a few hours, they would reach Haven's Rest. He could follow orders and probably die, or he could disobey and start a war between humanity and the rest of the galaxy. Yoon, how long do you need for those weapons modifications? He asked. 6 hours for full upgrades, sir. Then we are not going to Haven's Rest on time. Change course for the Titan Nebula. We need a place to work without being detected. Kim looked surprised. Sir, that will put us 3 hours behind schedule. Earth Command will know we are not following orders. Send a message to Admiral Kang, Lee said. Tell him we encountered engine problems and are making repairs. We will be delayed but still plan to reach Haven's Rest. And after the repairs? Park asked. Lee was quiet for a moment. He thought about his duty to his crew, to his ship, and to humanity. The decision was not really difficult. He had always known what he would do. After the repairs, we are going to Haven's Rest as ordered, he said. But we are not going to surrender our ship. If the aliens want the Thunderstorm, they can try to take it. But they are going to learn that humans do not give up without a fight. The bridge crew looked at each other with worry and excitement. They were about to defy the entire galaxy. One ship against 43, humans against everyone else. All hands, this is the captain, Lee announced over the ship's communication system. In 6 hours, we will face the greatest battle in human history. We are outnumbered, outgunned, and alone. But we are fighting for something more important than our own lives. We are fighting for humanity's right to exist as equals in this galaxy. He paused, thinking about his next words carefully. The aliens think humans are weak because we are different. They think we will give up our only real weapon because they threaten us. They are wrong. Today we show them what humans are really capable of. Today, we change everything. As the Thunderstorm changed course for the nebula, Captain Lee began planning for a battle that would either save humanity or destroy it completely. There was no middle ground left. Captain Lee Woo-jin stood on the bridge of the HSS Thunderstorm and watched the stars move past the giant windows. The ship was huge, bigger than anything humans had ever built before. It had taken 3 years to build and cost more money than most planets made in a decade, but Lee knew it was worth every credit. The Thunderstorm was not like other ships in the galaxy. While alien ships looked smooth and beautiful, the Thunderstorm looked rough and dangerous. It had thick armor, multiple gun turrets, and backup systems for every important part. Other species called human ships ugly, but Lee did not care about looks. He cared about winning. "Captain," said Commander Park Sora from her station, "we have a problem. 3 Valian destroyers are attacking a human trade convoy in Sector 7. The merchant ships are calling for help." Lee looked at the tactical display. The Valian ships were big and powerful, with energy shields that could stop most weapons. The Valians were proud warriors who thought humans were weak and stupid. They had been attacking human ships for months, taking cargo and sometimes killing crew members. The Galactic Council did nothing to stop them. "How far away are they?" Lee asked. 20 minutes at full speed, Park answered. "But sir, those are Valian destroyers. They have never lost a battle against human ships." Lee smiled. "They have never fought this human ship. Set course for Sector 7. Maximum speed." The thunderstorm turned and began moving toward the battle. Lee could feel the ship's engines working hard. This would be the ship's first real fight. For 3 months, they had been doing training missions and test flights. Now they would see if all their hard work had been worth it. Lieutenant Kim Tae-ho spoke from the communication station. "Captain, I am getting messages from the convoy. 2 merchant ships are badly damaged. The Valians are demanding they surrender their cargo." "Tell the convoy to hold on," Lee said. "Help is coming." The thunderstorm reached the battle zone in 18 minutes. On the main screen, Lee could see the 3 Valian destroyers surrounding the human merchant ships. The alien ships were beautiful, with curved lines and bright blue energy shields. They looked like works of art flying through space. "Valian ships, this is Captain Lee of the HSS Thunderstorm," he said into the radio. "Leave the human ships alone and go away. This is your only warning." The Valian commander's voice came back full of laughter. "Human captain, you have 1 small ship against 3 Valian destroyers. Turn around and go home before we destroy you too." Lee looked at his crew. Park was ready at the weapons station. Chief Engineer Yoon Min-ho was monitoring the ship's power systems. Dr. Bae Sunmi was studying the enemy ships with her sensors. Everyone was calm and ready to fight. "Target the lead destroyer," Lee ordered. "Full power to the storm cannon system." The storm cannon was humanity's secret weapon. While other species used single powerful shots, humans had built something different. The storm cannon was actually 50 smaller cannons working together. They could fire over and over again faster than any shield could recharge. "Firing," Park announced. The space around the thunderstorm lit up with hundreds of plasma bolts. The shots hit the lead Valian destroyer's shield like rain hitting a window. At first, the shield held strong, but the human cannons did not stop firing. More and more shots hit the same spot again and again. "Their shield is failing," Dr. Bae reported. 60%, 40%, 20%. The Valian shield collapsed. The plasma bolts tore through the destroyer's hull like it was made of paper. Explosions ripped through the ship. In less than 30 seconds, the proud Valian destroyer was nothing but floating metal pieces. "Impossible," the second Valian commander shouted over the radio. "Our shields are the best in the galaxy." "Target the second ship," Lee said calmly. The remaining 2 Valian destroyers tried to fight back. Their weapons were powerful, designed for single perfect shots. But the Thunderstorm's armor was thick and its shields were built to take many hits. The Valian shots made bright flashes but did little real damage. Meanwhile, the storm cannons kept firing. The second destroyer tried to run, but it was too late. Its shields failed just like the first one. More explosions lit up space as the ship broke apart. The third Valian commander did not wait to fight. "We surrender. Please do not destroy us. Leave this system and do not come back," Lee said. "If you attack human ships again, we will find you." The last Valian destroyer ran away as fast as it could go. The battle was over in 4 minutes. 3 of the galaxy's most feared warships had been destroyed or scared away by 1 human vessel. Kim received many radio messages from the merchant ships. "Thank you, Thunderstorm. You saved our lives." "How did you do that?" Lee did not answer that question. The storm cannon technology was still secret, but he knew the word would spread quickly. In a few days, every species in the galaxy would know that humans had built something new and dangerous. Yoon came up to Lee with a damage report. "Sir, we used only 12% of our total firepower. All systems are working perfectly. We could fight 10 more battles like that one." Dr. Bae was studying her sensor data. "Captain, I recorded everything about the Valian ships. Their weapons, their shields, their tactics. They fight like artists, trying to make every shot perfect. We fight like soldiers, using whatever works best." Park was looking at the tactical display. "Sir, Other alien ships in nearby systems are already running away. They heard about the battle and they are afraid to meet us. Lee nodded. This was what he had hoped would happen. For too long, other species had treated humans like children who did not deserve respect. They thought human technology was simple and weak. They were wrong. The thunderstorm was not just a warship. It was a message to the galaxy. Humans were done being pushed around. They had built something that could fight back and they were not afraid to use it. Set course for home, Lee ordered. Send a report to Earth Command. Tell them the test was successful. As the thunderstorm left the battle zone, Lee looked out at the stars. He wondered what the other species would do when they learned about this fight. Would they try to make peace with humanity? Would they try to build better weapons? Would they try to destroy the thunderstorm before it could fight again? Whatever they chose, Lee was ready. He had the most powerful warship in the galaxy, and he had a crew that knew how to use it. The galaxy was about to learn that humans were not as weak as they looked. Ambassador Choi Hee-reem walked through the great halls of Nexus Prime, the capital planet of the Galactic Council. The building was enormous, with tall walls made of crystal that showed images of all the member species. For 50 years, humans had been the newest and least important members of the council. Today, that might change. She entered the main chamber where representatives from 12 different species were waiting. The room was full of angry voices and worried faces. Choi had never seen the council so upset before. Ambassador Choi, said the Thrakari delegate, his forearms waving in anger, we demand an explanation. Your warship destroyed 3 Valiant vessels in minutes. This violates every rule of civilized warfare. The Thrakari were tall, thin aliens with blue skin and very advanced technology. They built their ships like beautiful machines with every part designed to work perfectly. They had never seen anything like the thunderstorm before. The human ship was defending merchant vessels, Choi replied calmly. The Valians were the attackers. We have the right to protect our people. No one has the right to build such weapons, shouted the Aqualian representative. The fish-like aliens' gills were flapping with excitement. Your ship's firepower is beyond all acceptable limits. We demand you give us the technical plans immediately. Choi smiled but said nothing. She knew they would ask for human technology, but Earth Command had been very clear. No alien species would get storm cannon designs. The Zenith Coalition delegate stood up. The Zenith looked like tall, thin humans with pale skin and large eyes. They were known for being peaceful and wise. If even they were upset, the situation was serious. Ambassador Choi, the Zenith Coalition has studied the battle records. Your ship fired over 3,000 shots in 4 minutes. This is not normal combat. This is excessive destruction. We used the minimum force needed to stop the attack, Choi said. Would you prefer we had let the Valians destroy our merchant ships and kill our people? Meanwhile, far away in space, the thunderstorm was flying back toward human territory. Captain Lee was in his quarters reading reports from Earth Command. The news was not good. Every major species in the galaxy was asking questions about the new human warship. Chief Engineer Yoon Min-ho knocked on the captain's door. Sir, may I come in? I have something important to show you. Lee let him enter. Yoon carried a datapad with charts and numbers on it. Captain, I have been studying alien ship designs for the past month, Yoon said. I found something very interesting. Look at this. He showed Lee pictures of warships from different species. The Thrakari ships looked like art with smooth curves and perfect balance. The Valiant ships were built for honor and single combat. The Aqualian vessels moved through space like fish swimming through water. They are all beautiful, Lee said. But what is your point? Sir, they all follow the same basic rules. Every alien species builds ships the same way. They use the least amount of materials possible. They make every shot count. They try to win battles with smart tactics instead of raw power. Yoon pulled up another chart showing human ship designs. But look at our ships. We use thick armor instead of energy shields. We build backup systems for everything. We make weapons that can fire many times instead of once. We do not care if our ships look pretty. Lee began to understand. You are saying we build ships differently than everyone else. Yes, sir. But it goes deeper than that. Yoon showed more charts. I looked at their industrial capacity. The Thrakari can build one perfect destroyer in 6 months. We can build 5 storm cannon ships in the same time using materials they would waste. Dr. Bae Sunmi joined the conversation. She had been listening from the hallway. Yoon is right, Captain. I have been studying galactic military history. Every species follows the same pattern. They build a few perfect ships and use them very carefully. They fight wars like chess games. And how do humans fight wars? Lee asked, though he already knew the answer. Like humans, Bay replied. We build as many ships as we can as fast as we can. We use whatever works. We do not care about being fair or honorable. We care about winning. This was a frightening thought. If humans could build warships faster than other species, and if human weapons were more powerful, what would happen if there was a real war? Back on Nexus Prime, the emergency council session was getting worse. The Valian delegate had arrived, and he was very angry. His people had lost 3 warships and many crew members. The human ship must be destroyed, the Valian shouted. It is too dangerous to exist. Today it attacked Valian destroyers. Tomorrow it might attack anyone. We agree, said the Thrakari delegate. This human warship breaks the balance of power in the galaxy. If other species try to copy their design, we could have a new arms race. Ambassador Choi stood up. The Thunderstorm is one ship. We are not starting an arms race. We just want to protect our people from attacks. One ship that can destroy 3 of ours, the Valian replied. What happens when you build 10 ships? 100? 1,000? The room became very quiet. No one had thought about that possibility before. Humans had always been seen as a small, weak species. But what if they were not weak? What if they were just getting started? The Aqualian delegate spoke in a worried voice. We have run computer simulations. If humans build warships at the same rate they build civilian vessels, they could have the largest fleet in the galaxy within 10 years. That cannot be allowed to happen, said the Thrakari delegate. The Galactic Council must take action now before it is too late. Choi felt her heart beating faster. She could see where this was going. The other species were not just afraid of one human warship. They were afraid of what humanity might become. What kind of action are you suggesting? She asked. The human warship must be decommissioned immediately, the Thrakari said. All ships of its class must be banned from construction. Humanity must agree to build only standard galactic designs in the future. And if we refuse, then humanity will face a complete trade embargo, the Aqualian delegate answered. No species will buy human goods or sell to human worlds. Your people will be cut off from galactic civilization. Choi knew this was a disaster. Earth needed trade with other species to survive. Human colonies depended on alien technology and resources, but giving up their best warship would leave humanity defenseless. I need time to discuss this with my government, she said. You have 72 hours, the Thrakari delegate replied. If humanity does not agree to our terms, the embargo begins immediately. As Choi left the chamber, she sent an urgent message to Earth Command. The situation was worse than anyone had expected. The galaxy was not just afraid of the thunderstorm. They were afraid of humanity itself. On the thunderstorm, Captain Lee received the same message. He called his senior officers to the bridge. They want us to give up our ship, he told them. If we refuse, they will try to destroy human civilization through trade sanctions. Commander Park Sora looked angry. After everything we have done to defend our people, they want to take away our only real weapon. What are our orders from Earth Command? Yoon asked. Lee looked at the message again. We are ordered to report to Haven's rest station for decommissioning. We have 48 hours to comply. Dr. Bay was studying her computer screen. Captain, I am reading strange activity on the long-range sensors. Multiple alien fleets are moving toward Haven's rest. This does not look like a decommissioning. It looks like a trap. Lee felt a cold fear in his stomach. The galaxy was not just trying to take away their ship. They were trying to eliminate the threat that humanity represented. And the thunderstorm was flying straight into their trap.